I am Lokesh Bhushan. I welcome you all. I welcome you all in the JK biology classes. I'm going to begin this session with following two questions. Do you ever wonder why we take aspirin or any other analgesic when we have a headache or pain? You can ask the same question in different manner, and that is how pain relieving pills help us feel better. Dear friends, each drug which we take during illness acts in a certain manner, a manner in which these drugs acts we call as mechanism of action. Mechanism of actions of any drugs can be by blocking a protein activity or by increasing the protein activity. In given questions, we have asked about aspirin. Aspirin is a drug which blocks the activity of a particular enzyme, and thereby we feel better, or thereby we don't feel the pain or headache after taking this medicine, that is aspirin or any other analgesic. A molecule which blocks the enzymatic activity is known as enzyme inhibitors, and a process is called enzyme inhibition. If you see the classification of enzyme inhibitions, it is broadly divided in two categories. One is reversible inhibition, other is irreversible inhibitions. As the name imply reversible inhibition, inhibitions which can be reverted back by certain manipulation, whereas irreversible inhibitions, inhibitions which cannot be reverted back by any means. Coming on the reversible inhibitions. Reversible inhibitions is further classified in three different categories. It's known as competitive inhibitions, uncompetitive inhibitions, or mixed inhibitions. This classification is done or based on where the inhibitors bind with the protein molecule. Irrespective of the binding with the protein, these or all the inhibitors interfere with the enzyme activity. It can slow or inhibit the enzymatic reaction. Let's consider competitive inhibition. In competitive inhibition, substrate and inhibitor both bind to the same active site present in the enzyme. Inhibitor and substrate both are strictly similar. That's why one tries to compete with binding site of the enzyme. Binding of inhibitors with active site of enzyme prevent the binding of the substrate. Such kind of a blue one is enzyme, substrate marked with S, and inhibitor marked with I. In given circumstances, either substrate can bind with active site of the enzyme or inhibitor I can bind the active site of the given enzyme. If substrate bind with the active site of the enzyme, it leads to the formation of enzyme substrate complex, which eventually lead to the formation of product. Whereas when inhibitor bind with active site of enzyme, it lead to the formation of enzyme inhibitor complex and prevent the product formation by preventing the binding of the substrate to its active site. Now let's which can be arises during the enzymatic reaction. I label here as condition 1, condition 2 and condition 3. In condition 1, represent higher substrate concentrations as compared to inhibitor. Condition 3 describes the scenario when inhibitor concentration is very high as compared to substrate, whereas condition 2 describes a scenario where substrate and enzyme, where condition 2 describes the scenario where concentration of substrate is equal to concentrations of the inhibitors. In condition 1, when substrate is present in much higher concentrations than inhibitors, it will lead to the formation of enzyme substrate complex. Whereas in condition 3, where inhibitor is present is much higher concentrations than substrate, it would lead the formation of enzyme inhibitor complex formation. In condition 2, where substrate and inhibitors are present in equal concentrations, it may lead the formation of enzyme substrate complex as well as enzyme inhibitor complex. Next, I like to ask the questions. If inhibitor bind with a substrate, how to revert back this process? Answer of this question is very simple. Just by increasing the concentration of the substrate can displace the inhibitor from enzyme active site, and it would lead the formation of enzyme and substrate complex. This particular concept is being used very commonly in the medical sciences. To just give a flavor to you how competitive inhibitors is applied in medical sciences, I like to quote three or few examples as follow. A news where you have seen that person have lost their life due to consuming the toxic alcohol, or persons lost his vision by consuming or by applying the hand sanitizer which contain methanol in it. Did you ever ask the questions, what happened by consuming the toxic alcohol? Why people lose the life, or why people lose the vision? Answer of this question is very simple. The toxic alcohol contains methanol in a very high quantity, and we call them is a methanol poisoning. Methanol is a substrate for the enzyme called alcohol dehydrogenase. Alcohol dehydrogenase is a very common enzyme present in all the human beings. Alcohol dehydrogenase can recognize methanol or ethanol as a substrate. But biochemical fate of the reactions upon binding with methanol or ethanol is entirely different. When alcohol dehydrogenase binds with methanol, it leads the formation of formaldehyde. Formaldehyde is very toxic for the human body. It can damage the many organs, particularly the eye. Whereas when ethanol binds with alcohol dehydrogenase, it leads to the formation of acetaldehyde. And acetaldehyde is not toxic for the human body. It does not lead the damage of any organs. So if any individual who consumed the toxic alcohol that contained the methanol, upon consuming the methanol, now let's consider an individual who consumed the toxic liquor which has the high quantity of methanol. What would happen? Alcohol will bind with the alcohol dehydrogenase, which is an enzyme, and upon binding with alcohol dehydrogenase with methanol, it leads the formation of formaldehyde, and which leads to the damage of the organs, particularly eye. So, and that's why, right? Formaldehyde is very toxic for the human body. It can lead to the eye damage and damage of many other organs, which eventually leads to the death of the individual. So if any patient or individual admitted in the hospital with methanol poisoning, doctors infuse the methanol in the patient's body so that ethanol can displace the methanol from the active site of alcohol dehydrogenase, and upon binding with ethanol with alcohol dehydrogenase, it would lead the formation of acetaldehyde, which is no longer toxic for the human body. And methanol can be excreted from the body by the urine. So methanol as such is not toxic to the human body. When methanol gets converted to formaldehyde, that is a toxic. This is one of the best example which commonly medical sciences use to save the life of individuals. And this application is based on competitive inhibitions or competitive inhibitors. This slide listed the 3 drugs which is developed using the principle of enzyme inhibitions. The first drug is aspirin, which I talked with you in the very beginning. It prevents the cyclooxygenase enzyme activity, and cyclooxygenase enzyme activity can lead to the headache or inflammations or sensation of pain. So if you block the cyclooxygenase activity, basically you are preventing the formations of pain-causing elements or molecules. Captopril is another drug which prevent or inhibit the angiotensin-converting enzyme. Angiotensin-converting enzyme play a critical role in hypertension, and this particular captopril is given to the patients who is suffering from the hypertension problem. Another drug which is called the methotrexate, which binds with the hydrofolate reductase, and this particular drug is used to treat the rheumatoid arthritis.